next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
What's going on, everybody? It's time for my BVS, Dawn of Justice review. So let's get off the back saying I love the movie. I loved it. I enjoyed it immensely. Now, that's not to say that there aren't any faults with the movie. There's always faults with every movie. Let's just start saying this first part of the review. I'll give my opinion how I felt, spoiler free, and then I'll tell you when I'm gonna go spoilers for a discussion and on what I liked and what I didn't like. So right now, spoiler free of what I liked. The cast was fantastic. The fight scenes were awesome. I thought majority there were a couple just a little bit scenes of the CGI was really good, but just a little bit that was a bit iffy in my opinion. But the majority of it was really good. But yeah, the cast was very good, very well done. Acting was awesome. I loved it. Let's start off. Henry Cavill. He did a good job as Superman. I liked it. It was, he'd matured as Superman. There's been time between the first movie and this one, and he's already a different, more stoic Superman, which is what people are used to, But there's also, the other scenes where he needs to show some range of Superman on the side. He shows it, and he does a very good job with it. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, I enjoyed him. Some people didn't like him. Some people didn't like his take on it. I didn't hate it. I figured it was going to be different right off the back of the trailer, but what I expected from the trailer was that when he was in public, he was more jittery and more sort of happy and excited, and in the background he was going to be more stoic and more serious. And it wasn't exactly that, but it wasn't horrible for me. He almost went campy, just almost, but he was fine for me. Gal Gadot, she did a great job as Wonder Woman. That's all I'm going to say. Go see it. To me, the star of the show was Ben Affleck. His Batfleck is my favorite on-screen iteration of Batman. My favorite. I knew he was going to be good. I didn't want to confidently say like, oh yeah, he was going to be much better than Bale's, or he was going to be better than Christian Bale and all of that. I figured he might be like at his level or just a little bit below him, and I would still enjoy it. In my opinion, he is much better than Bale's, and I still loved Bale's iteration of his Batman. But he just knocked it out of the park. It is awesome. So awesome. His fight scenes, so good. Oh, so good. And as a side note, Jeremy Irons, he was a very good Alfred. I liked him. There were some complaints. Jeremy Irons kind of doesn't look that old, but he's much older than Ben Affleck. Jeremy Irons is 67, while Ben Affleck is 43. This just shows you that Jeremy Irons just takes care of himself. He looked great. He didn't look 67, but the gap of their age is perfect. It's fine. It's really perfect. Maybe he should have been just a little bit older, but it was fine. There's a lot of fan service to the Dark Knight Returns comic book, graphic novel. Now, it's not a direct copy. There are some scenes that are a bit similar, but it's not direct copy. So he did take his influence from that comic book, at least for Batman. not for Superman, but for Batman. He took influence for it, and I liked it. And you know, I love that graphic novel, and I think because he took influence from that, his Batman was much more brutal than we've seen, and it was awesome. For the stuff that I didn't like, which is still spoiler free, one of the faults of the film is that the first half, the editing is a bit messy. And I feel it's like that because I think the studio forced them to cut parts out. And I'm saying this because we know that there's going to be a director's cut and it's going to be 3 hours long. That's an extra half an hour of footage. And I think they made them cut stuff out because, and this is just my speculation, but I feel that they made them, or they forced them to put stuff in for future films. And with that, it really was unnecessary. They didn't have to do that, because that makes it feel rushed. It makes them look desperate, trying to catch up with Marvel, which they really don't need to. They really should just do their own thing. And I hope from not just critics, but audiences, when they see people saying, you don't have to rush. You're already doing something different, and we want it to be fresh, that kind of thing. Because, in my opinion, I love the Marvel movies. I think they're very enjoyable, but they have faults. The villains, majority of the villains, there's only like 1 or 2 villains that I like in the Marvel movies. The rest are just, Marvel just throws them away. Hey, you're in here for the plot. All right, you're out of here. You're no more. And they're characters that have huge stories against the protagonist, and it's like, why would you throw them away? They have such good stories. So, and I'm starting to feel a bit exhausted with Marvel movies because there's so many, at least 2 a year, or even more. Like this year, I think we're only getting Civil War. I can't really think of another Marvel movie. The X-Men and Deadpool don't count. That's not really Marvel, that's Fox. So I think we're only getting Captain America, and I'm like, that's good. 1 is perfect. And I know the Russo brothers are going to do an awesome job with Civil War, and I love it because Winter Soldier, I think, is my favorite Marvel movie. But they're just throwing so many Marvel movies, and it's like, take it easy. Take it easy. We know you're in the lead. Like, you're going to be in the lead for a while. Just slow down. You're force feeding us. You're force feeding us, and it's like, just slow down. Now, that's my opinion. A lot of people are probably like, yeah, bring out some more characters. I love it. And with DC or Warner Brothers, I'm just like, you need to slow down. You're doing fine. You have this sort of an in-between movie, Dawn of Justice, and you did what I wanted, and it was awesome, and I loved it. And you got Suicide Squad, completely different thing to what Marvel has. Nothing what Marvel has. And from the trailers, it looks awesome. It looks fun. And it looks super unique. And it's like, that's what DC needs. Something like that. Unique. Don't try and copy what Marvel does, Don't try and do that. Just do your own thing, create your universe, and you have even more potential for a bigger universe with the TV shows and all of that. Your TV shows are just awesome. You're doing a great job with that. Just keep at it and just keep that pace. You don't need to force it. And that stuff that they added, which I feel that they added or forced them because the movie was supposed to come out last year. And it got pushed back to this year. And it was supposed to be in May. And then, Marvel was like, hey, we're going to put Captain America on the same day. What's up, guys? What are you going to do? And Warner Bros. Is like, you guys do your own thing. You guys are in the lead. You have more power in this, so fine. You win. We'll move it a little backwards, and we'll put it yesterday, or today. So that's my spoiler-free review. All I can say is go see it for yourself. If you want to take the word of the critics, that's you, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is that you'll miss out on something fun. So just see it for yourself and judge it for yourself. That's all I'm going to say. So now I'm going to go into my spoiler discussion. So, spoilers. So either stop the video or skip ahead. I'll put on a minute marker when I'll stop talking about spoilers and go into my outro. So, spoilers! So let's go into what I did like, spoiler-wise. Wonder Woman's fighting, awesome. Her outfit, I love the outfit. It was great. Batman's fighting, holy shit, brutal as hell. Oh, so good. That's another reason why he's my favorite Batman now. I love that they use a voice modulator to change his voice instead of making him growl. I didn't have any issue with Christian Bale's growling or anything. A lot of people did. A lot of people thought it was silly. I didn't have an issue. Like when Michael Keaton started, it was two voices for two different characters. You'd have your Bruce Wayne character and then you'd have your Batman. Now, it's very hard for actors to do what Kevin Conroy did, which he's, by far my favorite and my opinion the best Batman voice you'll ever hear. Kevin Conroy's range is just insane. He's already, his normal voice is already that deep, and so his normal voice is Batman, while his voice acting comes in to play Bruce Wayne, do a little higher pitched Bruce Wayne. So it's very hard to do that, but doing the voice modulation is very cool. I think that was very smart of them to do that instead of doing, growling and annoying people, that kind of thing. So, Lex Luthor, the reason I liked him was how manipulative he was. I love that about him. Just his whole plan, his whole idea, he was very under the ground, and then it just came together in the part where he forces Superman to take on Batman, and that worked out really well in my opinion. I love that. Superman, Henry Cavill did a good job as that, and mainly because, he was already, like I said before, he's already matured. It's been 2 years since Man of Steel to this, and he's matured as Superman. He's more stoic. He spent time rescuing people. That's pretty much all he's done for those 2 years is rescuing people, And so it was he's starting to feel for the human race now, even more, but he's realizing it as a more powerful being. But, that's also, there's a fault with that, as you saw with the Senate hearing. They could have gone a little further into it if they obviously showed that he didn't even try to look for anything, which again is a lesson for Superman. It's, he hasn't done this. Nothing like this has happened to him before, so he's never been forced to be so vigilant. In the comics and in the TV shows, or even in the past movies, you've seen he's already done stuff. He's been Superman for years, and he comes in and he already knows what to look for, that kind of thing. So when the Senate hearing happened and the bomb went off, he never expected anything like that. He never anticipated that he had to look for something like that, because he never dealt with Lex like that, or anybody, So that whole scene, I was like, in the movie, in the theater I was sitting, I was like, I know something's gonna happen. I know it. And then when the bomb went off, that made me like, oh crap, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. So, in that scene, there was only one part I didn't like about that, and it was Lex killing Mercy. I didn't like that. Mercy is an awesome character in the comics and the cartoons, and he just killed her off like that to sort of, keep the, because I don't remember seeing her after that. I really don't remember seeing her after. I'm positive that she died there, and I didn't like that he killed her. So let's get further into what I didn't like. As I said before, the first half, the editing is a bit messy, and like I said, that they forced them to cut stuff out, and the stuff that they forced in is stuff for the Justice League. So, they showed clips of Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg. I think the Flash one was, I personally think they shouldn't have shown any of that. But what they showed of Flash, I think, was very quick and very, very good. It wasn't dragging on. It was like, boom, boom. You saw what he did. Perfect. Aquaman, that took a little too long. They really should have just showed his face and then him using his trident and then that thing you saw in the water. Perfect. Cyborg. For Cyborg, you see his father working on trying to save his life. I think that was good. And then when you see the box glowing and then moving, I think it should have stopped there. They shouldn't have showed it assimilating to Cyborg. They should not have showed that. That was, I think, forced by the studio to be like, hey, Justice League stuff, yay! They shouldn't have showed that. In my opinion, they shouldn't have showed that scene at all. They really shouldn't have. Another scene that they shouldn't have shown was Flash coming back in time to warn Bruce. I thought that nightmare scene was awesome. It was so cool. But they shouldn't have shown Flash coming back. I know he can time travel, but they shouldn't have shown that. They really shouldn't have included that. I think that was a bad idea for that. Other scenes that they really didn't need. Again, the Wayne shootings. They didn't need that in the beginning. The movie, what I was hoping would start, the way it would start was Metropolis and Wayne there. But again, we saw that it started with his parents getting shot. It was a really well done scene, but it was unnecessary. And I think that portion, when Batman's about to stab Superman, and Superman's like, please save Martha. If you do anything, just save Martha. And Batman reminisces back to the shooting, and I think those quick, maybe just one more scene, those quick scenes, that was perfect. And that's all they should have shown of the shootings, was just that. The way he had the gun and the pearls around the gun, and just that kind of thing, that was perfect. They shouldn't have shown the shootings again in the beginning of the movie. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just started with Wayne coming into Metropolis, and then the whole fight again. They should have showed that. It started with that, and that was it. Another thing I want to address that I had no problem with in the movie was Batman sort of killing people off screen. I'd read an interview with Zack Snyder, and Batman, he tried to make it that Batman his intention wasn't to go in and murder or kill, but his intention was he's angry, he's pissed off, he's lost so many people in the past because he's been Batman for 20 years and then just stopped. And just like The Dark Knight Returns, he sees his city just going to shit, even worse than when he was patrolling the streets. And I feel like he's rusty, and at this point he's just so pissed off that he just has his goal and has to go to get, finish his goal without really thinking about it. And I think I had no issue with it because, he had killed people sort of off screen by blowing up cars with people in it. The guy who had pulled a grenade and got knocked over and dropped the grenade and then tried to pick it up, that really, you can't really blame that. I can understand the complaints about the vehicles and the people inside the vehicles there, because they were definitely but I didn't have an issue because this is a different iteration. It's a different take. It's not going to be the same. He's going to take inspiration from old stuff, but it's not going to be the same, And again, people didn't realize this because, or people would complain that Superman doesn't kill, and it's like, no. If you read the comics, he is killed before. He's killed Doomsday, and he's killed General Zod before. So it's like, I don't know what you're complaining about. If you'd actually read the comics, what you're so used to is the old movies where he just saves people, and even in the old movies, he killed General Zod in the old movies. He didn't break his neck, but he threw him over a chasm when he had no powers, and General Zod definitely died there. You just didn't see his body. So it's like, I don't know what you're complaining about. So I can understand the complaints of Batman killing, and that's kind of out of character, but it's a new iteration. And this take, to me, it works. Now, I feel in the next movie, Batman's going to realize, he goes, you know what? As he said at the end of the movie, I'm going to do right by him. I didn't do right by him in life. I'm going to do right by him in death. And so, Superman didn't try to kill. You know, and so I feel in these next movies, that's what Batman's goal is going to be. He's still going to be just as brutal and like just crazy tactical, and his fights are going to be awesome. But I know he's not going to attempt to have anyone die. I think this is the end of my spoiler discussion. So, really, all I got to say is I loved it. I enjoyed it. There's some faults, like every movie, but go see it for yourself and judge for yourself. That's all I'm going to say. So, post in the comments what you thought, and let me know how you felt. If you agreed with the critics, or if you watched it for yourself and really enjoyed it. So, all right.
Not as serious as yours, I fear. Bane. Let's not stand on ceremony here. Mr. Wayne. This has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you. I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit? Or your body?
But I'm Batman, and I always win. I deserve this.